If social media is everywhere, why has youth well-being fallen sharply in some places but not in others? That is the great gift of international evidence. It stops us making lazy assumptions. Because when we look across countries, the story becomes much more interesting. Globally, many countries have actually gained in happiness over time. And in most regions, young people today are doing as well as or better than older adults. But not everywhere. In North America, Australia, New Zealand and Western Europe, young people have become less happy. Not just little less cheerful on a rainy Tuesday, meaningfully less satisfied with life. This to me is a big warning light. Now here is where the story deepens. Different kinds of internet use appear to have different relationships with well-being. Using the internet to communicate, to learn, to consume news or to create content, those are associated with higher life satisfaction. But social media, gaming and browsing for fun, especially at high levels, tend to point the other way. And that matters enormously. Because we often talk about screen time as though all digital activity were the same. Well, no, it isn't. Calling all internet use the same is a bit like saying reading poetry, arguing at a family dinner and gambling in a casino are just all technically true but utterly useless. The report, the World Happiness Report also shows that girls, especially in Western Europe, seem to be more affected by heavy social media use. And in the UK and Ireland, the negative links are especially strong. But then there is Latin America. High social media use, yet high youth well-being. How is that possible? Because context matters, platform design matters, culture matters, and perhaps most of all, the difference between connecting with people and being fed content by algorithm matters. And then comes one of the most important findings of all. A sense of belonging at school has a much bigger association with life satisfaction than social media use alone. This is a profound insight, because it reminds us that the antidote to digital distress may not only be less technology. It may also be more belonging, more trust, more community, more friends, more places where young people feel known, valued and safe. So what do we learn from the global picture? Not that social media explains everything. It doesn't. Not that all digital life is harmful. Well, that isn't. But that heavy social media use appears to create more risk in some societies than others. And that the real question is not simply how much are the young people online. The better question is what kind of digital world are they entering and what kind of real world are they coming back to? Because happiness does not grow in isolation. It grows in relationships, in trust and meaning, and in the quiet human miracle of feeling that you belong.